It's that time of the year again. The dreadful dialogues hanging out and Midsummer Scream. As you can see from the long lines, Saturday was completely sold out. You could definitely feel how crowded it was. Anytime you're, walking through the convention or just trying to navigate the vendors.
Good morning. Happy Midsummer Day 3, baby.
Right.
Let's do this and then go home.
Always be on the lookout whenever you're walking around through the convention. It doesn't matter if it's the beginning, the middle, the end of a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because, you never know who you're going to run into. You could run into cosplayers, influencers, friends from the past that you've made. So always keep your eyes open. This was the first year that I attended on a Friday, and I really enjoyed having it a little less crowded. Made it easier to navigate the vendors because, my favorite thing to do is I like to do a complete walk through the vendors before deciding on making my purchases. And, I try to make a lot of them early because sometimes you might make a mistake and they run out of things. Midsummer Scream is held every August at the Long Beach Convention Center. This is their 8th year. They took a couple years off for COVID. I believe this is the 2nd year back from that. And we could really feel how crowded it was Saturday because it was completely sold out. Over 20,000 tickets were sold and guests expected. We actually ran into one of the co-founders, Gary Baker, at the end of the night on Saturday. It was so funny because he's behind me in line grabbing snacks, and we're grabbing snacks at a cafe, at our hotel. And he's like, "Oh, were you at Midsummer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like asking my experience, and little did I know who I was talking to till the end. He tells me, complimented my outfit. But it was cool. He said, that it's a lot of work, and how hard they worked to put this event on, and yeah, you could see. I mean, it was crowded. A lot of the major theme parks from Southern California also have displays for you to check out, and some of them even have scare actors or presentations, walking around, interacting with people. You could take pictures. Queen Mary was there with their Dark Harbor presentation, the LA Haunted Hayride, and they also did a big panel where they revealed that Elvira is going to be featured. It's all going to be Elvira themed this year. Of course, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. They told us about some of their mazes, some of the notable ones. There's going to be one for Fallout, Five Nights at Freddy's, Terrifier, and for Jason's Universe. Jason as in, Friday the 13th. Not Scary Farm was there, Magic Mountain Fright Fest, and Castle Park was there promoting Castle Dark, and that's one that I plan on checking out. I definitely want to check out Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights as well. I've been to Halloween Horror Nights, I've been to Not Scary Farm, I haven't been to Castle Park, and that's a little more local to me, so it's a little smaller scale, I think, but it's going to be really cool to check out something different than what I've been to before. Some of the mazes that were inside of the Hall of Shadows were Sid's Twisted Toy Box, which, had an actor dressed like Sid from Toy Story with all of these, his demented toys. It was really cool. SoCal Leatherface, the real popular cosplayer that was on a past episode, he was walking around dressed up like a Labubu with Leatherface style. Really cool. Lionsgate also had something for strangers too. The Haunted Car Wash, and Fear Farm had a scarecrow maze. That one was really cool. They actually scared me. They had a lot of great jump scares that got me. You could also walk around through the Casa Calaveras presentation. This exhibit you can walk through, and it utilizes black lights, and it's Dia de los Muertos theme, and it's really cool. They were there last year, and this exhibit travels. And it's a really cool thing to walk through. It's kind of real calm when you go through there. It's more quiet, and it's a really good way to get some of the cultural aspects of Dia de los Muertos. It can be a little overwhelming, there being so many vendors. One of my favorite vendors was called Spook Your Birdhouse, and they were these birdhouses that all had like spooky vibes to them. You could get ones that were Nightmare Before Christmas. I think there was like Peanuts ones. Lots of different designs, Dia de los Muertos ones. And what I loved about them was you can use them for multiple things. You don't have to just use them for a birdhouse. You could use them as a decoration. You could put on a mantle. You could hang it from a wall. We bought one that we're going to use for our ofrenda. And it was really cool chatting with the lady who makes all of these. She does everything. She designs them, she builds them, she paints them. It takes her a couple days to do it, and her name was Marsha, and it was really cool just having a chat with her about it. My favorite performance was put on by the Stage Fright Theater. They had 3 different shows. Their best one, I think, was their Cut a Rug show. It was hilarious. They had different horror icons, and they were competing against each other in a dance-off. And let's just say when, like, you know, slashers get together, slashing's gonna happen. Besides there, you know, being a bunch of vendors, you know, you got to check out the Hall of Shadows. Tons of mazes you can explore. There's photo ops, like Mr. Floats had a really cool photo op, and they even had like a cool thing going on for the kids where they were kind of on a scavenger hunt, and there was somebody collecting teeth. You know, she had a bag with the tooth tacks, and she was on stilts, and she was there to bring some of the, you know, spookiness and fun to the event. You can also go to different presentations and shows. Also got a chance to check out the Horror Nerd Comedy Show, and this featured Annabelle from, you know, the Conjuring franchise, and she's now got a new gig, guys. Apparently she's gone to school to be a therapist, and she was giving out some advice to her clients, and I don't know if it was the best advice, but, you know, some of her clients were the likes of Norman Bates and Ghostface. So really cool to see them in person. I love listening to their podcast, and it's great to be able to check out one of their shows in person. Besides just hanging out at the convention, it was really cool. I got to connect with some of my podcast guests that I've only met on the internet. So being able to meet in person was really cool to, you know, connect that way. And, you know, hey, Dreadful Dialogue wouldn't be the Dreadful Dialogue without my guests. Some of my favorite highlights were, you know, running into Mr. Floats in the elevator at our hotel. It was really cool because I saw him and I'm like, oh, like, he's not at the convention. Can I bother him? And I was like, hey, is it cool if I get a photo? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. And he had the voice down and everything. It was great. We also saw Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy the Mail Girl picking up their breakfast. And it was pretty funny because we ended up in one of Darcy's stories. You could see me and Paul in the background. There were a lot of celebrities. I got to take a picture with David Naughton. He said to tell all the listeners, he says, hi. I really love An American Werewolf in London, so that was really cool to get a picture with him. Overall, Midsummer Scream was really fun. You know, it was cool. This is the first time checking it out for all 3 days. I think it just made the experience so much better. You feel less to rush, more opportunities to check out more panels and presentations. I know I didn't talk about everything here. I could spend a couple hours chatting all about it, but I do recommend, if you're going to check out a convention, to check this one out. It's bigger than any one that I've ever been to. It's kind of like this, you know, the big game. Once you go to this one, you know, it's kind of hard to go to the other ones, but yeah, check it out. Midsummer Scream 2025 didn't disappoint. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. If you're looking for more content, of course, we are a podcast. So our podcast is called The Dreadful Dialogue. I am Elise. And of course, we also have a website, dreadfuldialogue.com. Hope this video wasn't too dreadful for you, and have a good one.